Yeah, definitely. And the turnovers, we just got to take care of the football. We talk about it day in and day out throughout our practice prep. It's crucial to success. And it wasn't anything with scheme. It wasn't anything about operation. You just got to take care of the football. And then on defense, they did a nice job. Nick Hill is a really good offensive coach. He's good for the overall program. I like him a lot. I have a lot of respect for him. And they did some good things when we were only rushing 3. They would go man-to-man and have a little rush game with the Q run game, which was nice. Again, it's a good change-up. We were able to answer that and kind of settle in there, stay 4 down. It's always a chess game with SIU. Again, I have tremendous respect for their staff, and Saturday was no different.
Just the ground game. Early in the season, we're asking you about that when it wasn't going, but now you're seeing Jayden Baxter doing some back-to-back 100-plus yard week year in 7 years. Just what have you seen about the growth of that to where that's another weapon for this offense?
Offensively, I think that's just a response to kind of what had been working for us beforehand. We were able to throw for a bunch of yards for the last few weeks, and you've kind of got to make a decision there. Do you load the box? Do you drop out and play coverage? I think that in itself has helped open up some runs. And again, our offensive line has just put in their hearts that they want to move the line of scrimmage and be able to run, and we're doing a good job of it. Sorry, say it one more time.
What do you kind of expect from the Murray State?
So offensively, they do a nice job keeping you off balance. You're going to see a bunch of different formations, personnel groupings. I like their quarterback. He's an athletic guy that can throw it. They've got really good wideouts. We've got to be ready to go on defense, being able to communicate and get aligned and get our adjustments set and settled. Defensively, again, they play hard. They tackle efficiently. We got to make sure we do a good job of, again, protecting the football, being efficient on 3rd down, and putting the ball in the end zone when we need to.
How easy has it been to not let them look ahead? Because I think a lot of us are probably looking ahead to North Dakota State next week and what can be on the line there. Just what is it about this team that's able to focus week by week?
Yeah, human nature always wants the end goal, but I think, again, going back to what we've talked about day in and day out since we've talked in fall camp about just be where your feet are at. Stay in the moment and make sure you handle today. You hear it all the time about, tomorrow has enough issues of its own. Control what you can control today. And we got to figure out how much better we can get from last Saturday's performance to this Saturday at Murray State.
You talk a lot about that, 1-0, one day, one game at a time. The big test is coming up Saturday, right?
Yeah, it absolutely is. Most important game of the year because it's the next game. I think, again, Murray presents a good challenge. They're a good football team. I like their coach. He seems to have some juice. He seems to have things in the community going the right way. And they play hard. They haven't laid down yet. Obviously, their record is tough, but that's not indicative of what they do on film.
As a head coach, you're kind of the father away from home in a lot of ways. Tomorrow's, it's a voting day. What's kind of your approach to kind of getting the guys out?
Yeah, everybody needs to make sure they do their civic duty, everyone in the organization. We are all proud to be Americans. We're proud to have the right to go to voting polls and feel safe and feel, whatever it is that you're voting, that's your decision. And, again, you don't have people there that are telling you how and who to vote for, which, again, is a lot of countries can't say that.
Coach, any concerns about looking ahead? Obviously, there's 2 undefeated teams in this conference. They play next week, but not this week.
Yeah, I mean, it's natural to kind of see the end goal, but we try to stay in a box here in this program and make sure we handle the day's issues that come about, and we're going to do the best job we can going 1-0 today.
The fact that there isn't the postseason to look forward to, has that motivated this team in any way extra?
We just got a conference championship, and if I was a betting man, which I'm not, a proponent of either way of that, but my bet would say that the Missouri Valley champion or, first, second, or third, whoever goes off in the playoffs will be the national champion. So I feel pretty good about a conference championship.
Ready to talk about that? Seven wins can usually gets you in from this league, and you guys are at 7 wins.
We're getting close. We're getting close, Wyatt. I think it's we're almost there.
I'll talk to you next week.
Coach, having a year like this where you strung together 7 straight wins, could be 8 Saturday, how important for you mentally was it going into the season? Hey, look, we need some major momentum going into next year's big transition.
Yeah, I don't think that was a huge deal of it. You know, again, I was happy with the guys we were able to retain. You know, again, I always talk about retention and development, and we owe it to those guys to put our very best foot forward. You know, sometimes we had some conversation here about, do you redshirt, do you throw off the season for the next year? Time is guaranteed to no one. You know, I think perspective is a big thing on taking advantage of the time that you do have and the moments that you do have. And that's kind of been our main focus on, you know, day by day, making sure this 2024 Missouri State football team is the very best we can be.
Can you kind of piggyback off Saturday's comments where you talked about how happy and grateful you were to have the loyalty of the men in the locker room? Why does that ring so much more true today than it did in years past?
Yeah, it's a totally different feel in that locker room. They're a really great group to be around, and you know, you talk about contract stuff, you talk about different things that are happening in the program. Without players, there's no coach. Without players, there's no contracts to even worry about. We are a player-oriented group. It's about our student athletes. It's about making them the best men, best football players that they can be. And you know, there's one thing I'm going to hit on. It's not related to anything in this room, but we all need to share perspective. You talked about life and how short it is. There was a young man, Isaiah Arrington, at Greenwood High School in Arkansas, lost his life in a house fire. Wanted nothing more to be a Missouri State Bear. I'm a father of 4. You know, some of the issues that we have today, something goes wrong, somebody cuts you off in traffic, you're having a rough day, man, find something that can bring you joy and happiness in your life and go pursue that and make the most of it, because time is guaranteed to no man. And again, we send our condolences to his family and his football family, because that is one shared common bond we have as football coaches, as football players, is the camaraderie of the blood, sweat, and tears it takes to do what we do. So, you know, you always feel attached to those people that are close to you. Plus, we met the young man. So, again, have some life perspective. Life is good. Make the most of your time that God's given you. And I hope you guys have a great week.
That player you were recruiting?
Yes.
So just passed away recently?
Yeah, so he actually he passed in a house fire a few days ago. He and his mom and I believe it was his sister. So I talked to the coach this morning, Coach Young, good guy. You know, it's hard going through those types of things, but when you have a great community around you, that's something that they can rally around and get behind him and his family. Thanks, guys.
I actually was just going to ask you real quick about the fact that every time we're looking at previewing the games, it's like, hey, this was the last time the Bears did this. It was 2001. Like, Y2K was just a thing, right? And then this week it was 1990, 1989. Like, George H.W. Bush was in office. I don't even know what this week's superlative would be. Like, what you guys, are you guys having fun with that? Like, thinking about what was even going on, like, when you last accomplished some of the things that you're doing and how special this has been?
Yeah, I love reading about it. You know, you guys seem to be pretty good historians, keeping it fresh on our minds, letting us know kind of where we stand in regards to the history of the program. Again, anytime you can blaze a trail and be the first in a long time to do anything, it shows you're moving in the right direction.